Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all well. So in this video we are going to be reviewing The Boy Next Door. Now I honestly think that I am one of the very few people that really enjoyed this movie. It's produced by horror legends, Blumhouse Productions, who brought us out the brilliant Get Out. And I think if you're going to do a psychological horror movie, and if you're going to focus it on the twisted creepiness of real life humans, then those are the best ones, because it really shows how twisted humans can be, and it just makes it really terrifying, as you know, this is grounded and rooted in real life reality. That being said though, I do feel like the build up and the tension could have been expanded upon, and I also do feel like the runtime and obsession scenes could have been expanded upon as well. But you know, those two things aside, I do feel like the overall film is pretty enjoyable from start to finish. So in terms of the plot of this movie, J-Lo plays a character called Claire Peterson that is going through a separation from her husband because he cheated on her with his secretary, which is just such a standard American movie cliche. While this is happening, Claire's character's neighbour is a disabled character, and his nephew is staying with him to kind of help him, and this nephew's character is called Noah. And Noah grows an alarming obsession with the J-Lo character and befriends J-Lo's character's son. One day, in a moment of vulnerable weakness, J-Lo's character, Claire Peterson, allows Noah to kind of seduce her. And what the film shows is that this one act of weakness on J-Lo's character's behalf just completely turns her world upside down, and she really begins to fear what her crazy stalker will do next. Like I said before, this aspect of the movie definitely could have been expanded upon, but you know, what you do get is pretty decent. And the other really good thing about this film is that it's really pacey. It just goes from scene to scene to scene to scene to scene. It doesn't spend a long time in each one, and you're kind of moving with the storyline flow quite well. Like I said, they could have expanded the obsession and stalker aspects of the movie, because those are definitely the best bits, but in terms of what you do get, is pretty decent. In terms of the characters and actors in this movie, it's a typical Blumhouse Productions thing whereby they have a very small cast, and because of that it works really, really well, as there's great character growth, great character development, and you're really with all of these characters throughout the craziness that they go through in this movie. So from that point of view, it's really, really strong. But let's go through them one by one. So first we have J-Lo, who brilliantly plays Claire Peterson and really brings her to life. J-Lo is such a powerful force on the big screen and just really does such a good job in terms of bringing this character to life, in terms of all of the barbaric and crazy situations that she's finding herself in, how her world is just totally crumbling in front of her, and how she's kind of losing control of it. And yeah, like she's just going through all of this awful situation and just kind of getting crushed. But then in the final act really shows strength and really pushes through. So I just feel like, you know, the character arc for the J-Lo character, Claire Peterson, was just absolutely brilliant. Next up we have Ryan Guzman, who plays psychopathic neighbour Noah. And the thing that Ryan Guzman gets done so well with the Noah character is that he knows exactly what he wants and he's not afraid to get it. But when he doesn't get what he wants, he just reacts really badly. So he's just a true narcissist. And the other aspect of this character that's really good is that, you know, he's able to quickly flip from being incredibly charming to being incredibly psychotic. And that's just really, really scary for this character, because he's just able to flip between these two emotions very quickly and is just so obsessed with the Claire character, and he's going to do anything and everything to kind of get what he wants. So he's a true psychotic character. Next we have Ian Nelson, who does such a good job in terms of playing Kevin, who is Claire Peterson's son. And he plays a really nice guy. He kind of befriends Noah and then gets manipulated by Noah. So, you know, this Noah character is not only going headstrong for targeting Claire Peterson, he's also going for Claire Peterson's son, and so is really trying to destroy and crumble Claire's world. And then finally we have John Corbett, who plays Claire Peterson's cheating ex-husband Garrett, who also gets targeted by Noah as well. So like I said, you know, the characters and actors in this movie are pretty small, but they do a brilliant job in this film in terms of bringing all of the characters to life and to kind of have the suspense throughout the film as well. So in terms of the visuals for this film, you know, it's pretty stripped back. The movie budget is $4 million, and you know, that does sound like a lot, but in terms of comparisons to other movies, the budget is pretty small. But you know, that being said, I think it works well because it is very stripped back in terms of the setting. It's very normal, very suburban, but that just works so well because it just shows that this kind of crazy stalker, obsession, psychopathic storyline can kind of happen to anyone. And because it is so normal, that kind of does make it more terrifying because, like I said before, it really shows how twisted some humans can be. So whilst the visuals are stripped back, I think it works really well for the movie as it really does make it intense and really horrifying throughout. In terms of comparisons, despite the negative reviews that this movie received, I do feel like it's one of Blumhouse Productions' better films, way better than Fantasy Island, Truth or Dare, and You Should Have Left. Maybe not as good as Get Out and Us, but you know, I just feel like it's a really believable stalker and obsession storyline, and it has brilliant actors in it, stripped back visuals, and I just feel like, you know, comparatively to other psychological horror films, it's just brilliantly realistic. Overall, I did feel like The Boy Next Door was a fun movie. It had brilliant performances, a really nice stripped back setting, and just the storyline was just incredibly gripping and incredibly chilling. Sure, some bits are a bit far-fetched, but at its core, I just feel like it's a storyline and a narrative that can happen to anyone, and it's just grounded in reality, as you know, stalkers and people who get really obsessed with other people is very commonplace, and because of those reasons, it just kind of kept my attention throughout, and I just could not wait to see what would happen next. And so for all of those reasons, I'm going to give The Boy Next Door a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'd love to hear what you think, so please let me know in the comment section below. Otherwise, I look forward to seeing you in my next video.